Hello, and welcome to the K201 podcast. In this podcast, we will cover Tutorial 6, Part 3. The first thing we'll cover is creating a hyperlink. Hyperlinks are used to jump quickly to a specific cell or range in the worksheet, another worksheet, or even a completely different workbook. They can also be used to access another file or website. We'll first work on inserting a hyperlink. If you don't have it open, we're going to open up Totals 2013 from the previous tutorial. As you can see, I already have it open. Going to the Documentation tab, we want to make sure A8 is the active cell, because that is where we will put the hyperlink. To insert the hyperlink, we go to the Insert tab, and then click the Hyperlink button. Make sure you're linking to an existing file, go to the current folder, and then click Sales 2013. Rather than it displaying this, we're going to type in, click here to read Executive Memo. Clicking OK should create the hyperlink. And it does. So let's test it to make sure it works. All you need to do is click the hyperlink. And as you can see, it pulls up the Sales 2013 Microsoft Word document with all the information we need. So let's work on editing this hyperlink. Rather than having to have all of that in the box, when we hover our cursor over it, we're going to change it to something else. So we're going to right click, go to Edit Hyperlink, and we're going to go to Screen Tip. The screen tip text that we're going to put is going to be Click to View Sales Analysis for 2013. Once we click OK, and we go and hover over it, it should have it. And it does. Now let's move on to creating a template. Templates are useful because you can create a new workbook that has the same format as an existing template. So now that we've worked with so let's start with creating a workbook with an existing template. Different templates can be found right on Excel. So there are sample templates right here, and you can download some via the internet. What we're going to do is open up an employee time card. I've already downloaded it, so we'll go to my templates and click the employee time card. Because it's a template, labels, formatting, and even formulas are already there. As you can see, we already have formulas in the total weekly hours. So let's enter some information. Our employee's name is Ed Hoot. Upon reading, we find out he worked 8 hours on Monday. Once we click Enter, total weekly hours should change because of the formatting. And it does. We then find out he works 8 hours on Tuesday and 2 hours of overtime as well. Notice how the regular hours and overtime hours have been updated. Now we're going to save this as the Hoot time card with our data files. Then we will close it out. So now that we've worked with a default template, let's make a custom template. We can make this template have formulas, charts, and much more. Do you remember the New Mexico workbook we used before? Well, we're going to turn that into a template. So we're going to open up that, and we're going to group together quarter 1 through quarter 4. In order to do that, you want to click quarter 1, click the Shift key, and then click quarter 4 tab. If all 4 tabs are white, you've successfully grouped them. Now we are going to delete the info in B6 to E12. We will right click and go to Clear Contents. The formulas are still active, but they don't have any info to use, thus the dash is at the totals line. Now we will go up to A1. Rather than it saying New Mexico, we want it to reference the A1 cell in the Summary tab. So we'll click Enter, Summary, exclamation point to reference it, and then A1. As you can see from the previous tutorial, we've already done it for the A2 tab. So now we're going to switch to the Summary worksheet. Doing this will ungroup the worksheets. We'll go up to the A1 tab, A1 cell, and rather than New Mexico, you're going to type in Enter State Name here. Then for fiscal year 2013, we're going to change it to Enter Fiscal Year here. And then we're going to add 4 Ys so they know to put the entire year. Going to quarter 1, we will see that it changed it, and because it's grouped quarter 2 through quarter 4, it will change as well. Now we're going to go to the Documentation tab, and because it's not New Mexico anymore, we are going to delete that. Now let's save this as a template. What we'll do is do File, Save As, and we're going to save it as Travel Template. When you save it as a type, we want to change it from the Excel workbook to an Excel template, and then save. Now we're going to close this out. And now that we have a template saved that we worked on, we're going to try to create a workbook with it. So we're going to try to reopen that. So File, Open. We're going to go to where we saved it with our data files. And there's our travel template right there. So we're going to open it up. And this is the template that we just created. So now we're going to go to the Summary tab. And in A1, for enter name here, we're going to put New Mexico. In A2, we're going to change it to the fiscal year of 2014. And click Enter. Now let's go to quarter 1. In the range B6 to E6, we'll enter the following. B6 will be 120. The children tickets, C6, will be 150. The total number of sales for adults will be 3,000. And then the total number for children will be 2,850. And notice that we still have total number of tickets and then the sales in cash. For the range B7 to E7, we are going to do 180 for B7, 200 for C7, $3,500 for D7, and $3,150 for E7. Notice how all of the formulas have been updated in this range. Now we're going to save this as New Mexico 2014. Make sure it's saved as Excel template, and then we'll save it. I hope that you learned a lot about templates, and hopefully this should help you with your homework.